Hello, what's happening? Matt, aka Lethal Frag here, and today we'll be talking about the toll that gaming takes on your body, physically and mentally, and maybe some of the things that you can do better to be a little bit healthier, or maybe even just be a little bit better gamer. Let's talk a little bit about my personal experience gaming. I've been gaming, my whole life, but I really started gaming seriously when I was 16 or 17. And I definitely had some ups and lows with my body since then. Yeah, I've definitely noticed a decline in my health since I've been gaming, really seriously, putting in a lot of hours. And the main thing is for me is I have a lot of back problems. I actually have to wear like a back brace now when I game for extended periods of time. And a lot of that does have to do with my job. It's very physically demanding. But sitting all day is not exactly healthy. And I've done a blog post on this before, and I found this really interesting that I found that I game better when I have good posture. And obviously, sitting down all day is not indicative of good posture. But if you make a conscious effort to actually sit up while you play, this not only encourages, good spinal health, which is incredibly important, but, it'll help you game a little bit better. And I found that a little bit interesting because I know most gamers have pretty horrible posture, because that's your relaxed mode, is for you to slouch down. But, if you make an effort to actually sit up while you play, wearing a brace or not, it helps build up those muscles, and, the straighter your spine is, the clearer you think. So that's just one little thing you can do to kind of help out your game. And I want to touch briefly on diet here. I'm not a health nut. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you have to eat great or your diet's horrible. But you know what? If you're going to put in a really extended period of time gaming, like you're going to sit down for 16 hours and play, do yourself a giant favor and get a good meal beforehand. Or, maybe have something cooked up ready to go. I like to make stir fries for myself when I do extended periods. When Modern Warfare 3 came out, I spent an entire day doing meal planning for myself, because I knew that I'd be spending all my time, doing commentaries and playing the game, that I wasn't going to have time to make food for myself, and if I didn't do that beforehand, I was going to end up eating chips and drinking pop all the time. So what I did to, counteract that was, I made some stir fries for myself, and then, I had something healthy to snack on. Incredibly important what you put into your body while you game. It really helps your game out if you're well fed and you're firing on all cylinders. If you don't put good things into your body, it's really hard for you to game properly. And this isn't as big of a deal for a 16-year-old. When I was 16, I could eat an entire large pizza and I felt great. I felt awesome. But now that I'm 26, I've aged a little bit. If I stuff myself full of pizza, high-fat foods, and just drink a bunch of pop, I feel like crap in about 2 hours, and there's nothing I can do about that. And, the majority of gamers right now are between 18 and 25, and you've seen a real rise in older gamers, the old school generation of gamers that game pretty competitively now. And we're talking, 25 to 32-year-olds. And, it's hard to break that habit of, eating crap while you game, because it's very convenient to, run to the microwave or, go grab some pop. Do whatever to keep yourself going, chug a bunch of Mountain Dew. But, if you can get away from that habit, you don't have to eat great all the time, but if you're going to put down a major session, taking that extra hour to make food for yourself is incredibly important. Just want to throw out a quick note here. I captured this game in 60 frames per second. I'm also going to render it in 60 frames per second, so if you see a difference in the quality of the gameplay, you let me know. I'm interested to see what it turns out. I might be taking a little time sacrifice here to improve the quality of my videos even more. Whereas I usually capture in 45 and render in 30. YouTube compresses it down to 30 no matter what you do, but it can't hurt, right? Talk a little bit about exercise and stuff. I mean, I've never been that much of a workout freak or anything. I don't really like to work out that much. But you know what? I've actually started working out a little bit in the past year or so, and I've noticed a giant improvement in my game and my fatigue level, which I think is the biggest thing for everybody, is how fatigued you get. Just sitting down for extended periods of time, especially if you're trying to sit up straight, puts an incredible strain, on your back. And if you build up those muscles doing like planks or, whatever your exercise of choice is, it'll actually help you game better in the long term. I mean, really the key point I'm trying to hit on in this commentary is the better shape your body's in. And I'm not saying you have to work out 2-3 hours a day and be in the best shape of your life. I'm just saying what you do to your body does directly affect the way that you play games. And while there's lots of brilliant gamers out there as far as gameplay goes that are incredibly out of shape, they would be better if they were in good shape, or even partially good shape. I used to be pretty overweight, and most of that was directly attributed to my diet and how much time I was spent, sedentary gaming. And, just over the past couple of years, I've dropped a lot of weight. Most of it's because of my job. As I said, it's physically demanding, but also eating a little bit better. I still don't eat great, but I definitely make a conscious effort not to eat a bunch of crap, a bunch of stuff that's gonna, fatten me up or slow me down. And that's had a huge benefit to my game. I can't even speak enough about how good it's been for my overall gameplay. I definitely had my best stats ever in Black Ops, and a lot of that has to do with experience, but that also had to do with the fact that I was taking the time to, eat properly before I sat down for 16 hours. And, I don't game as much as I used to, mostly because of the commentaries and stuff I do, but I am on Twitter all the time, I'm on the computer all the time, editing video, capturing video, responding to Twitter, doing stuff on YouTube, all these things that take up my time, and that's a lot of sitting down time. I probably sit down more now than I probably ever did, even when I was gaming. So I have to be incredibly careful, and I'm warning you kids out there, you 16, 17-year-olds, you are invincible right now. There's no doubt about it. I wish I still had my 16-year-old body that could do all those things that I can't do now. But you have to know that at some point your body does start slowing down. When you start hitting, 23, 24, 25, your body just does not process things the way it used to. So if you take the little bit of time now to take care of yourself a little bit, you'll end up being a better gamer in the long run. I've had several friends that I've talked with this about, and we've actually, ran a couple experiments seeing if we game better while we eat better and stuff. And, overwhelmingly, yes. If you eat a good meal before you eat, or before you play, you're gonna play better. If your back's in good shape, you're gonna have less distractions while you play. I know it was a big one for me. Like when my back starts hurting, I don't play as well because my mind has to focus on something else. And really, the next step for me is my cardiovascular health. I've been a smoker for a little over 10 years now. I'm getting my electronic cigarette in the mail today or tomorrow. And I'm actually going to start jogging and stuff to see if that helps me game. And I don't see any reason why it won't. I mean, the more oxygen you get to your brain, the faster you can think. That's really just a proven fact. The more oxygen you get, the better you feel. But I'm going to try to be a healthy gamer, and I've not been a healthy gamer for quite a while. I've taken some small steps to try to improve that. But I'm just encouraging you hardcore gamers out there to take a little bit of your time and take care of your body, take care of yourself, take care of your mental state. I just recently did a 24-hour live stream of Skyrim, and I could not believe how drained I was after that. I think the main reason is when you're live streaming, you don't really get to take breaks. I mean, I could step away for a smoke or go grab something to eat, but really didn't get more than a 8-minute break the entire 24 hours. And at the end of it, I felt super drained. I mean, obviously 24 hours is a really long time to game, but to do that without a break was incredibly challenging. My back was hurting, my eyes were sore. All these things. I ended up sleeping for about 17 hours and felt like crap when I woke up. But, I ate a good meal and worked out a little bit, and I feel much better now. Just going back to the whole thing, here's the concept. The better you treat your body, the better gamer you're going to be. And while it's not a requirement to be a great kill-death player or a great team player to be in good shape, if you take some small steps, just start small, start eating healthy, start eating some good stuff before you game, you'll definitely see an improvement in your game. I will guarantee it. It was definitely a turning point for me as far as gaming and, being a good player was starting to put good stuff into my body. And, I still eat a lot of crap. I still drink energy drinks. I still smoke. Still do all these things, but just taking a few small steps to improve my body has taken my game to the next level. And I'm actually going to start playing kind of seriously here in Modern Warfare 3. I still got some Battlefield to play too. But I'm going to start, starting to play for my kill death where I have not been so far in Modern Warfare 3. I've just been playing for fun. We're going to eat healthy and work out and give my kill death a real good shot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I wanted to do it after my 24-hour run. Just kind of feeling like I got beat up after that. I'm definitely not as young as I used to be. That's about all I got. Frag out.